Hi, my name is Tando Chen, and I chose the case number 5. And this is a video where I will perform some basic EKG analysis. So just glance this. I think this rhythm it follows a regular pattern. So we cannot use those like 1500, 300 method. So what we're going to do is that we're going to look at the last one, use basically the whole sheet means like 10 seconds. So I'm going to use that method to identify like the P is over here and the QRS is here, P is here, QRS is here, P, QRS, P, QRS, and P and QRS. So basically the first question is asking for the atria heart rate. Basically for this one, we're going to look at, since this is regular, we're going to look at the last one, which is the lit 2. And then basically the atrial heart rate means we're going to look at how many P waves there are, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, as here is showing. So we have 5 times 6, which is 30 times per second. And the second question, I believe, is the ventricular heart rate. So basically for this one, we look at the QRS. So the QRS, we also count how many QRS. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So also 5, like 5 times 6, which is 30 times per second. So that's basically how we identify the irregular. And I think the third question is asking us the P wave duration. And to look at the P wave duration, I'm going to magnify this. So basically the P wave duration is basically from, I think it's from here to here. And each small dot over here represent 0.04. So as you can see, there are approximately 1, 2, I would say like 3, though. Sorry, so 3 times 0.04 means 0.12, and I will have, which is, seconds, which is 120 milliseconds over here. For the morphology, I feel like this is kind of normal, but as you can see on the line over for the P wave over here, it might show like a little bit like life skewed. So maybe based on let 2, maybe the morphology will be the right atria enlargement, since it's left skewed, but patient is the other side, so it's like a right atrial left skewed. And we want to look at a little bit at V1 as well. As you can probably see over here, I think it also shows the right atria enlargement as well. So for lit 2, it shows the right atria, and V1 is also showing the right atria over here. I think the question 4 is basically asking the PRI duration. So the PRI duration is basically the time like from up to the QRS complex. Here you don't see I think the Q is kind of like invisible. So, and it's perfectly normal because I think by the reference, the Q wave duration should smaller than 0.04 seconds. So I think that is okay. And since we barely see the Q, so the PRI, maybe I'll change the color. So the PRI interval basically will start from here. And maybe I would say N over here. So 0.04 per small dot. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe I would say. So 4 times 0.04 equals to 0.16 seconds, which is 160 milliseconds, and that is fall into the normal reference range, I believe here. And the question number 5 is the QRS duration. So for the QRS duration is kind of the same here. So the QRS duration will just be the QRS interval. So it will start from here. I believe it will end over here where you see the little spike where is no more spike. So I will say over here probably. And you can see is 1, 2. So approximately. So that'll be probably be 2 times 0.04, which is 0.08. And the reference range is smaller than the reference range. So I think the QRS here is pretty good. The last one, I believe, is asking me to interpretation of the rhythm. Yeah, so I think over here, the patient in general looks pretty healthy, but, I shouldn't say that. I think in general it's okay, but I think definitely this patient, because the heart rate, like over here is only 30, so I would definitely see how this is bradycardia. One thing, and another thing that I noticed that is the alleviation, like the ST elevation over here in this area, and this area, and this area, and this area. I think the other part seems okay, but alleviation here in the V2 and V3, it might indicate some problem with the infection. So I think the patient might have potential to develop or maybe had the myocardial infection already. So we might be lookout on that. So I think that's my analysis for the case 5. Thank you.